Okay, to start the morning, we're here at the home of the start of Buddhism in China. So we're going to walk around a few of these places and kind of go around it quickly and see what we can see and understand. The artwork, of course, is typical, beautiful stuff, is normal. The inner row saying more of the stories of what's going on here, just different pictures and different things. So it's got your normal stuff. As I say, the inner part has more of the scriptures, this one and that one. So we're just going to walk around. I'm going to go up to the top level. Different levels have different things. As I said, we'll go stop here quickly at the first level, which has the story of how Buddhism came here. So it's got the different stories of Buddhist ways, Buddhist philosophies, Buddhist things. So those that are more interested in this can look it up. But it's quite interesting, the carvings, the different things. You always have to walk around the temple in the right direction. Otherwise, some people sometimes get mad. What else can we say? As you see, it's a depiction of how Buddhism had come to China. And the readings and the teachings as they came. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. And then we go up to the top on the little pagoda here. It's got the scriptures written in Chinese along the side. Of course, I can't understand it. All the scriptures talking about everything, how it came to be, how everything came around. So all the scriptures are here. And then we finish by going into the thing. And up here, you see the writings and a copy of the scripture book, which is what was taught and brought into China many, many years ago. It's doing quite well. I need to learn how to do my Asian squat better. And do that, and then ask the drone to come back to my hand, and then land. Okay, we're gonna start and break this down with a few different videos, coming around of seeing the different parts of the temple, break it down into little sections. Okay, and as we leave, we're gonna, as we said, record. I did the recording on the way in. I'll wait my turn to get into the mix here. But on the way in, we did our turn. So now on the way out, not in 360, we're going to do this in normal procession. Walking around and sharing what we see as we walk the circle around. Now we're out of the main temple area. Again, we see the normal 3 bows people doing. Over here is the pagoda. We're above the main original temple. So this now is something that's been added later. We'll come around and look. Over here you can see on the one side all the representations of the Buddhist symbols. All the symbols are here. Symbols are up on the plaque. There are all the symbols. And as you come in to here, you see a typical Buddhist area. Many-hand Buddha. These are all, like I said, the different representations of Buddha. Again, we always start with the incense pit to back to 5 blessings. As you see, different people put their vows and blessings at different locations to the pits. And when they do it, some at the pit, some when they come closer to the pits, some around the different areas. In general, the consensus is to bow 3 times to the Buddhas and then come and observe the statue, and usually then again bow again some more times. And these are all little Buddhas there. Again, as what's tradition in Buddhism when coming to a temple. So we'll start here at the incense pit. We take 3 sticks of incense to represent the 3 bows. We'll lighten them, get them on fire so they're burning properly. They're going to be done. Once your 3 sticks are burning and starting to make proper incense burn, you can then ask for your 3 blessings, your 3 bows. Come to the Buddha. Then you place your sticks inside the incense pit. There, walk around. Good normally light. Hello. And then come up to the area of the Buddha, which is here. Of course, this is in Chinese, not Tibetan. So normally I'm used to reading these in Tibetan, not scripture. We next enter the temple. We find the 5 pillars. These are the 5 pillars of scripture. So the pillars of scripture are there. Then after you continue to enter into the temple, in the temple you'll find out you come into, like I say, in the different aspects of Buddha, the different incarnations, and that one. As we walk up the hallway deeper into the temple, we find the beauty of what's around here. But each stage we'll find a different representation of the different times of Buddha eras. Alright, as we leave the temple area, and going out and back down, coming around and out towards the exit, we've kind of seen everything there's to see here, been to the temple, done our bows, done our praise. Apparently there's a thing here, or a building or 2 here left to go see. Nothing that's of interest for what I want. So it's pretty much finish time for me, so I'm gonna head on out and get back to the road and enjoy the trails. As I said before, as you go up the temple way, you'll find different representations of the different Buddhas, incarnations of Buddhas, versus the Tibetan style, which has more living Buddhas. Chinese philosophy of Buddhism, they have the Buddhas of past, but they don't really have living Buddhas. In the Tibetan one, we have living Buddhas. Nepali, we have living Buddhas. We don't have that in the Chinese tradition. It's just not part of their perception of it. Just like lighting the incense 3 times and having 3 incenses. Here at the Chinese temples, you have 3 levels of Buddha. So there's always 3 kind of main temples that are here. So again, we light our incense, make sure our incense is burning properly. Once our incense is properly burning, we're going to come back to the incense pit. Coming back to the incense pit, we'll come back here, face the temple, face the Buddha. We'll bow 3 times, representing the 3 gifts to Buddha. Then we'll take our incense, we'll place it inside the incense pit. This is all full of ash. There's one. We'll cross around the people that are also praying and doing that one. We'll move our way up to the main area here. And then here, out of respect, I don't take the camera within. I only take the camera outside and take pictures from the outside. It's respect. We don't ever take the camera inside a Buddha area. It's disrespectful to take it inside. Some would even say it's disrespectful just to take the pictures, but it depends on the philosophy you believe in. Since I'm of Tibetan and Indian Buddhism, we really don't take those pictures and do that one. So it's just respectful of the Buddha. Okay, I really can't resist this because on the Luck Frog, you see the duck standing and sitting. Over to the next one, you see the turtle sitting on the back, same as the other turtle that's on the back. Over there, you see the turtles on top there. So it's kind of like, wow. The animals cooperate. Perfect Buddhist scenery. One starts at the incense pits. Put your incense boughs your 3 times for different forms of Buddha. Then one starts to enter the temples. That's be the first stage. You come up to enter the temple. That first temple, you see the image of the laughing Buddha. On this side we have the guardians. On the other side we have the other guardians. Again, to watch things that they do here in China, they're trying to hang the blessing ropes high into the trees, throwing them up and sticking them. He's just having a good old time and doesn't want to stick anywhere, throwing it up. The family's finding fun. We can't get it to stick. And this is it. This will be the exit of the temple, and we're going to be on our way out back to the road. Well, today I'm looking at some options. It's a little early, but I come across this place. It's nice. It's kind of secluded. Not so easy access from car people to get to you. So you got to park way down there. But for me, I can get on here, through here. There's some nice places to sit and do some work and kick back for a little bit. Then tonight, when the sun goes down, probably this is not getting good lighting from the solar panels. As you see, other people do the same thing. Chinese motorcyclists do the same thing. But through this, it's a little walkway back to here. But if you see this nice area behind the rock, the mounting rock, there's plenty of trees back here for me to tie off of. I'll be off the road. A little bit of road noise, but that's quite normal for, camping on the thing. But I'm thinking, as you see way down there, the white car turning around, that's about as far as the cars can come and get. The rest of this area is a walk area. So cars aren't going to come up here, but motorcycles can go on the little thing. This is a little signpost. I think I can sit here and, like I say, take a nice little siesta here today. Take a break, use the solar panel, charge the phone, do some work, and see how it goes. Okay, I made my choice. I'm gonna camp here after all. I'm just gonna relax, do some emails, do some other stuff, test my solar panel, and see how charging while working is at the same time. I'm just at a nice little spot, so I'll fly the drone a couple more times, see if I can find out what's going on with the little thing, then see if I can charge the drone back up, why the follow me isn't working, etc., etc. Just the little things, clean up, put my little things back hanging down and all that stuff that's come up. Then I can cook dinner a little later back there and set up, like I say, the hammock behind there, take my time, hang it up early, and check everything out.